Good morning to us. Once again, my name is Henry. I just want to do another very important update for us. As the days are ticking, it is becoming more and more imperative that we understand and get used to what is going on in the cryptocurrency market and across every other market, not just limited to the cryptocurrency market. Because there are some correlations with this market and there are some correlations with the stock market and the bond market and the government. The government are keeping their eyes on the bond market keeping their eyes on the stock market, and the stock market is keeping eyes on the crypto market. All right, let us quickly look at this year. The US dollar just opposite in the cryptocurrencies and the dollar index. I usually always like to bring us, these, moves, how they, are opposite to each other. Because each time the dollar index goes up, the Bitcoin price and the cryptocurrencies come down. Now, before us is a chart of the dollar index on a monthly time frame. The chart of the dollar index that is before us here is on a monthly time frame. If you take note, you will notice the resistance dating back 2016, which I always have been telling us about. This is the resistance dating back 2016, and that is where, currently we are seeing the dollar index right struggling. Has not been able to consolidate on a monthly time frame. Has not been able to consolidate you know, the support, able to top of this so far that I've seen so far has not been able to consolidate breaking above, has not closed above. That is to say that is still very much, there is still for us to see the dollar index move forward beyond where it is right now, and then we will see candle above resistance dating back to 15 and consolidate above it for another 1 month. We will now be convinced that the dollar index will have a continuous upward movement. And if you take a look at the RSI, the RSI right now for the dollar index is in the overbought state. It is above 70. So it is already in overvalued territory. And whenever we see this asset moving to this overvalued territory, it is an indicator that we are likely to come down. So two things are pointing to us here. One, the dollar index is still struggling with this resistance dating back 2016. Two, we are seeing the dollar index, the RSI in the overvalued territory. So these two indicators probably showing it to us that the dollar index will likely come down in terms of value. Now, if you take note in 2019, that 2016 resistance pushed the dollar index down. And here is what we are seeing here again. So, and always remember that whenever the dollar index is showing strength, Bitcoin will show weakness. Now, let me conclude by going to the Bitcoin chart, where I want to point out something very important to us, key data point for us to keep our eyes on, so as to be well informed and we're not taking our wares at any point in time what goes on in the market. All right, I come to the Bitcoin chart and I want to look at it on a monthly time frame. I want to look at it on a monthly time frame, and I'll be running up with this chart. I want us to pay attention to what we are seeing currently on this chart. Now, if you look at this, is the Bitcoin chart on a monthly time frame. On a monthly time frame, you can see that in this very current month that we saw a very big bearish candle, big bearish candle for this month. And so far, it dragged the prices of Bitcoin very much down significantly. It dropped Bitcoin down very much significantly. And if you take note, we have a white line. The white line is the $14,000 mark for Bitcoin, while the green horizontal line there is the 19,500 price for Bitcoin. That is where we are currently finding support. We're currently finding support around that 19k 500, and 14k is our next critical support. But we don't really know if we are going to get there. For we to get there, fact will have to emerge on the chart. Fact will have to emerge on the chart that will tell us that yes, we are likely to get down there. But for now, we are still finding support around 19k 500. But we can look at some possible clues that will show us if we will come down to 14k or not. And one of them is looking at the market participant. Right now, if you notice, you see that the volume is predominantly, supply volume that we are seeing. So long as supply remains more than demand, prices are likely to come down. And this monthly candle right now that we are seeing for the price for Bitcoin, what we don't want to see is for the monthly candle of the next month. We have 7 days, 14 hours left. We don't want to see this candle that will come for the next month of July opening below that green line. If you see the candle open below that green line, just note that we are going to come down to 14k. But there's something that we have to draw our attention to quickly. Let's just draw our attention to something. If you look at now, we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive months of uptrend, and right now we are seeing, after the 6 months of consecutive uptrend, we saw, take note of this candle, this red tiny candle. We saw 3 months of bearishness, and then we saw 2 months of relief rally, and then after that again we saw 3 months of bearishness, 2 months of relief rally. Right now again we are seeing 3 months of bearishness, and we're going to see another 2 months of relief rally. So those are things that we are going to be keeping our fingers crossed, taking note of what will happen in the month of July. Actually, the month of July is another very important month for Bitcoin to show us where we are actually bottom with 19k 500, or we are going to bottom around 14k. Now, this is what I have to share with us today. Don't forget, below this video, to go to the description, you are going to see a link for our ICANAUTOTRADE software bot, which will begin July 11th. That software, you're going to be trading with it for free. It's not a software that you have to send money to anybody. The money will be in your wallet. You bind your API, and then your trading begins. And you are going to be using it for some couple of weeks. For about a month plus, you are going to make use of that software for free to make money for yourself, after which you will decide if you are to continue with it or not. So this is what I have to share with us today. Take note, ICANAUTOTRADE software is a licensed software, and it is not one of those softwares that we are afraid to promote because it has all the legal backing and standing. Thank you very much. See you in my next video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell so that you get our videos real time as we upload them. Bye for now.